Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly reading. This is the weekly astrology and pick a card reading for December 6th through to 12th, 2021. So the astrology this week is pretty intense actually. We have we have Mars, 29 degrees of Scorpio. This is leading up to the weekend on Sunday where it's exact. Now what happens when a planet, especially something like Mars, which is known as a malefic planet, a difficult planet, goes to that 29 degree in astrology called the anaretic or critical degree, it does bring about some tension. Mars in Scorpio energy is possessive, is passionate, is intense, and can bring up issues to do with scorpionic themes like jealousy, anger, control, power struggles, power issues, and also sometimes things to do with subtler forms of control like manipulation or trying to dominate another person, or anything that relates to kind of intensity and emotional intensity and even aggression. So just be aware that if you've got anything on 29 degrees or close to 29 degrees of a fixed sign, so Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius or Leo, this week leading up to especially the weekend and Sunday specifically when it's exact, that 29 degrees of Mars in Scorpio can trigger some intense emotions, can trigger anger, can trigger all those things that I just discussed. Now, it is going to be conjuncting the South Node, and the South Node drains energy out of things. So what can happen is, if we are not aware of our emotional responses, it can become very draining for us because it's conjunct the South Node. The South Node is towards the end of this year as we go into, well, we're pretty much there now, but I mean the end of December. The South Node does change signs. It changes from what we've been having as the South Node in Sagittarius and the North Node in Gemini all year to now the South Node's going to be in Scorpio and the North Node's going to be in Taurus. So there is a changeover. I'll talk about that in my 2022 year ahead video, which I'll do for my main channel. But the thing is, when Mars conjuncts the South Node in the sign of Scorpio, this can be a very intense energy, and it tends to be more on the negative just in general. Now, if it's going to be expressing itself positively, say if you've got 29 degrees of Pisces somewhere in your chart, this could actually help you to let go of something, because the South Node is kind of where you need to let go a little bit. So if you do have emotions coming up this weekend to do with those things that I mentioned, try stepping back or letting go, or try releasing the emotion in a safer way rather than letting it kind of overwhelm you. But there definitely will be issues coming up this week with regards to, as I said, power, control, anger, aggression, intensity, passion, but they tend to be in a bit more of a darker aspect. Now, that said, Mars is dignified in Scorpio, right? So it does have a positive side to it if you use the energy well. Okay, so you can use it to be strategic in your dealings with other people. If you need to be careful about a situation or be very thoughtful about a situation in terms of how you're handling something difficult, it can actually be something that you do use to your advantage in that way, but you have to think strategically with Mars in Scorpio. The other stuff going on this week, if we just go back to the beginning of the week, I kind of jumped ahead, but I wanted to talk about that because it's kind of the more intense energy to me. Venus conjunct Pluto, also intense from Monday to Wednesday this week. Again, Venus and Pluto in Capricorn conjunct can be very intense emotion, can be very possessive energy around love and relationships. And this is actually active. This is active Wednesday to Sunday, so it actually does coincide with the Mars on the anaretic degree of Scorpio. So I'm going to say that this week there would be some very intense energies in relationships, very intense energies in love. Can be feeling very black and white about things, like yes or no, or just not seeing that there are grey areas, or not seeing that there are other potentials for things, but just seeing things very black and white. So be aware of that. May not be good to be too in that polarity kind of energy. Venus and Pluto conjunct in Capricorn can be, because Capricorn does represent power, people in power. It can represent some peaking of energy to do with stuff to do with government, stuff to do with control issues in relationships or in the world. And this is going to be active. This intense energy is going to be active from Wednesday all through to the weekend. There are other aspects this week, but those are the main things that I really just wanted to focus on those, because they are bringing up very intense emotional reactions and very strong energies. And, you know, these energies can be good if you need to fight for something, in terms of, you know, something where you need to stand up for yourself, or you need to stand up for your rights, or you need to stand your ground on something important. It can actually help you with Mars dignified in Scorpio. But we do need to just watch out for extreme emotions and extreme reactions. Okay. So that's the main stuff. Next week, we do have a build up to the Saturn-Uranus square, which has been on and off all year. This is going to affect those people personally that have anything around 11 degrees or just either side of 11 degrees of Scorpio, Taurus, Capricorn, Leo. And this is a big tension globally that is building up, leading up to Christmas. Okay, so, and it will fade off in January next year gradually. And then next week we also have Mars moving into Sagittarius, so out of Scorpio into Sagittarius, which is definitely like warrior of truth kind of energy, and also freedom loving energy, and more passion to do with philosophy, spirituality, beliefs, but also very physical energy, needing to get out, needing to travel, needing to use your energy in an active way. And next week Mercury goes into Capricorn. I'll talk about it next week. Let's look at the cards for this week, and I am going to do the water signs first this week, then the air signs, earth signs, and fire. Okay, so water signs first. Oh, these are the decks that I have for this week. I've got the Myths and Mermaids Oracle, which I don't usually use, but it's kind of a new deck, so that's probably why I haven't used it much. This is a new deck, which I absolutely love. Very new, just got it last week. Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. This is the second deck that they've made. The Moonology Oracle, and this other one, the Zodiac Reading cards. And I'll also use the Astro Dice as well. I'm just going to turn these cards around. Alright, let's look at the water signs. So, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio for this week. What are the energies? Actually, I'm going to move some of these crystals so I've got a bit more space here. A little bit. Just make sure that the camera is on. Oh yeah, I've got a lot of space on camera. That's good. Okay. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What are the energies for this week for you guys? Oh, jumping card. It says lighten up. Last quarter moon in Leo. Okay. So water signs, you might be feeling a bit intense. Okay. Especially if you've got Scorpio energy because of that Mars. It's asking you to look at the lighter side of life and try to do things for yourself that are enjoyable, okay? Because there's a bit of tension in the air. You might be dealing with a Leo if you're a water sign, or thinking about a Leo, or something about a Leo person. Leo is also the energy of fun, your inner child, doing something creative. Water signs. Sweet. Oh, jumping card. Aries. Very fiery energy you guys have. You have courage here. So, courage, but lighten up. Seems kind of contradictory, but I think what it is saying, what I'm getting from it, is if you're going through something difficult right now, trust that you have the courage to deal with this, that you wouldn't be going through this if you didn't have the strength within you to cope with it. And know that maybe your fears are getting the better of you right now, and things can actually work out better than you think with the lighten up card. It's like Spirit saying, you know what, you don't need to carry all these burdens and worries and fears constantly. Things can work out better than what you know, is what I'm getting with that. All right, let's look at the Myths and Mermaids. Oh, jumping on, look at that. What does it say? Trilobites. Okay. Now, I have to look that up for you guys because I have no idea what that card means. So I'm going to go to the book. I don't usually use this deck, and it's very abstract, but I do love the images, the artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, who is the artist. It's a 44. 44, you know, it's fours are about security, stability, and having that focus on something that gives you a sense of knowingness, knowing what to expect, you know, security, stability type energy. But it's 4 and 4, which is 8, which is about transformation, intimacy, deeper connection. I'm just going to look it up in the book and see what it says. If I can find it. Come on, where are you? Okay, 44. Almost there. There we go. So, there's a lot of different meanings. I'm just going to home in on what connects. So this is about, oh, interesting. This is an opportunity for you to meditate on your past and your future actions. Consider your words and perhaps even rehearse your lines over again. Take your time and let each situation ripen in its own way. You may not know precisely what you're waiting for, but worry not. The time will not be wasted. Mentally expand your timeline and make good use of your waiting. So you might be feeling like you're waiting for something. It could be to do with love, relationships, something like that. But sometimes it's like if we're too focused on what we don't have, we feel like we're in waiting, that we're in lack. And the trick is, you know, to fill your life with what makes you feel good and feel, you know, that you're on your purpose, and then you won't feel like you're waiting for anything. So this is very important. I feel this message. It's saying, you know, you might feel that you're missing something right now, but everything that we go through happens for a reason. You know, even times when things are difficult, times where we just feel like we're sort of in limbo. This is the kind of energy I'm getting from this, sort of feeling like you're in limbo or waiting for something, or something's not quite right, or you feel like it's not quite right. And just because the ego feels like something's not right doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just a process. You know, and when I say that, I'm referring to those times of life that you feel like nothing much is happening, or you feel like you don't have your ideal situation, or you just want to meet someone and have a relationship, or feel that sense of connection and love. You know, all these things, which are very much relating to water sign energy. It's kind of getting you to look at yourself and go, well, are there things that you can work on about yourself and your situation, rather than sort of sitting there feeling bad that you don't have, you know? And so, because when you're in that energy, you just get locked in it, and it doesn't help. It kind of keeps you stuck. So let's see what the Astro Dice say. Sagittarius, Mars. Wow, that's interesting, because next week Mars goes into Sag. I just mentioned that for the astrology. So it's actually, I feel, for the water signs, it's commenting on something also for next week for you guys, where there might be a bit of a lift in your mood for how, compared to how you feel this week, because that would make sense to me with the astrology. Mars is at the last degree of Scorpio this week. It's heavy energy, it's intense, it's reactive, it can be very brooding, and kind of power struggle issues around you. But it looks like next week you're going to feel lightened up, okay? Hence the card lighten up here. Sixth house is saying look after your health and be positive about your life with Mars in Sag. Don't get stuck thinking of the worst case scenarios, or thinking about your fears, or obsessing about your fears. Easier said than done, I know, but as human beings, we all struggle with fear at times. So it is sort of suggesting here to focus on the details of your life with the sixth house energy coming up. Focus on your health, your well-being, taking walks, doing exercise, you know, being in the moment, and rather than this feeling of wanting, which I keep picking up on. Now, Moon in Aries here is saying, again, be in the moment. You know, Aries energy is very immediate, and it's also saying believe in yourself. So this is about, again, not getting stuck in kind of negative or victim thinking about your life, like, oh, I don't have this or I don't have that. It's like you need to get out of that completely and look at what you do have and what you can make for yourself. And maybe even doing creative things here, looking into spirituality, finding a passion with Mars in Sagittarius for spirituality, reading philosophy, theosophy, different belief systems, different spiritual insights, or books about, you know, Buddhism, or whatever it is. You know, it could be anything. This is very ninth house energy, though. It's about what you're learning. Maybe the feeling like I need to learn something new, I need to expand my mind and see, you know, explore other things that I've not explored mentally as well before. And this is also physical energy outlet too. Okay, so that was for the water signs. Okay, let's look at who's next. The air signs. All right, so the lovely Gemini, Libra, Aquarius out there. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Ooh, jumping cards. I'm going to get that one because it went off to the side by itself. You have Pisces. Talk less, feel more. Okay, air signs. Well, air signs do love to chit chat, especially, you know, Geminis can be very chatty. I love Geminis, but they can sometimes talk too much. No offense. I'm sure if you know Geminis, certain Geminis can just like be talking about when they're passionate about something. And also it's this is Pisces, so for Geminis specifically, this does square your energy. Libra and Aquarius, it's not so much of a thing, but there could be a bit of challenging energy around needing to quiet the mind this week and go within, see how the person's meditating. So possibly time to meditate this week, time to look within, time to do something creative or retreat, pull your energy back. Oh, that's a lovely card. So pretty. It says stranded. Oh, wow. 38. Okay. 38 here on the card. It's an 11, which is about self-mastery. And it's 11 is a powerful number. It's a master number. But I'm really getting self-mastery this. So stranded energy here with this card. You might feel kind of similar to the previous water sign messages. You might feel a little bit stuck this week on something. Okay, you might be obsessing about something you kind of like in your own little world. See how she's sort of, I get the impression of being, you know, resting, and then this card is like imagining or thinking or romanticizing, kind of being very much in your head a bit this week. You could be getting creative ideas or also messages from spirit, because it's a very receptive feminine energy here. Let's look at what else for the air signs. Why am I getting another one of these cards? I didn't realize I was doing that. Okay, another one for you guys. It says an alien emerges. And it's a 7. Interesting. Maybe some of you are reading about aliens or thinking about alien encounters. For some of you, it's feeling like you don't belong in some way and trying to deal with some aspect of what's going on in the world and feeling disconnected. This is a very self-reflective week for you. I don't know why I got the 2 cards, but obviously there's a message there. Let me see what else. There's something with this one. I'll see what else comes through. You might feel like you just don't want to be too much out in society, air signs, this week. You might feel like you want to pull your energy back, because she's like just come out of the swamp and she's looking around like really dazed and confused. And she's like, you know what? I kind of liked it better under the water in my swamp. That's what I'm feeling. And she has that energy too. She's kind of retreat. And then we have Pisces, which is the house of retreat, the house of spirituality. Let's look at one last card for you guys, and then we'll do the Astro Dice, the air signs this week. Very big retreat energy. Oh, look. Moon in Libra, love. Love and relationships are a big theme for the air signs this week. Wow. So this can be good in the sense of romantic energy, but it can also be, you know, there are some challenges perhaps as well, because Libra is all about trying to find the balance. What do we have here? We have the South Node, past life issues, third house communications, your local area, your local community, Leo energy, passion, creativity, bold self-expression. But we also have the South Node, so there's something that you have to let go of here. You might want to stand your ground really firmly about something this week because you feel it in your heart, but then the South Node is like, well, this is a past life issue. So with a past life issue coming up in your communications, in things to do with heart and romantic matters or love matters, you might have to let go of something a little bit this week in regards to wanting to be really bold, but then like your energy is very much wanting to retreat. So you have a bit of conflict here, air signs. You might feel like, I want to say something, but I also don't want to deal with this confrontation right now because I don't have the energy for it. Or I need to speak up about this issue that's bothering my heart. You know, Leo is very protective energy. You want to protect yourself. Could be something to do with children here as well, or a child. You know, if you have a child, or if you're trying to protect a child or something along those lines. But the South Node is like, well, be very thoughtful about how you're going to communicate something, because you might end up just draining yourself through the process. You might benefit more from writing your thoughts down, or just talking to someone that you really trust about something that you're going through with love and relationships, or with regards to close people in your life. All right, let's look at the earth signs. So for fellow Tauruses, Virgo and Capricorn, this one. Interesting, that's Aries, but it's a very earthy color here. It says step into your power. Oh, I like that. Very earthy vibes for the earth signs, but it is Aries, so interesting. So for Taurus, that's your 12th house of spirituality, and I almost feel like she looks like she's dancing or doing yoga or something, kind of just for herself to feel, you know, connected to her divine nature. Let me see what else I'm getting from that. Yeah, you know, it's interesting because Mars rules the sign of Aries, okay? It also rules Scorpio. And Mars is coming to that anaretic degree this week. So the earth sign, especially Taurus, may find that this energy is a bit harsh. Taurus in particular this week. So I'll just mention that. Let's see what else comes up with the mermaid cards. Earth signs this week. What are the messages? Ooh, jumping card. So what do we have here? We have Triumph of Galatea. 21. 21 adds to 3, which is to do with communication and self-expression. I need to look up the meaning of that because it's, again, one of the more abstract cards in this deck, but I just love these cards. They're so detailed, and I just love the artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. It's so beautiful. Triumph of Galatea. Let me have a look at what that says, and I'll read you a section of whatever jumps out at me. Lately you've been having fun at the expense of getting the job done, and so far there have been no serious repercussions. Be warned, someone has been keeping an eye on you. You'll not get away with this kind of behavior. Geez, that's pretty heavy. It's a lot of noise across the road with the kids at the school. Do not be paranoid. You've been under a lot of pressure to perform. I relate more to this, and it's starting to get to you. Yeah, I've been really busy with work. It's been full on. And I'm an earth sign, so that's why I'm saying that. You feel your every move is being scrutinized, and each mistake could cost you big. Try to ease up a little. Everyone knows you're only human, and despite how it seems, you are not being judged so harshly. I think that's more the energy, unless you're doing something untoward. But honestly, the earth signs are usually very responsible and trying to do things the right way. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you have those signs, you're not usually someone that, unless you're really low vibing on those signs, you're not someone who tries to do the wrong thing, or you're very strong about what's right, what's your belief, especially Virgos, but like just generally the earth signs. You're very strong on like what's right and what's wrong, and what your beliefs are, what your values are, and what the ethics of something are, and your morals and things like that. It's very much earthy energy. Not saying that all earth signs are perfect, but just generally like that is a thing. So I would say it's more that other one of don't be hard on yourself, because also the Virgos and Capricorns are very self-critical. So watch out for that self-criticism this week, earth signs. All right, let's get you an astrology card. Nothing really is jumping out. Let me see. Come on. Earth signs. Here we go. Sagittarius, adventure. Nice. Okay, so this is positive, I feel. Stride out into new territory. Okay, so if you feel bogged down, earth signs, this is saying try something new. You might be communicating with someone at a distance, someone overseas. Sagittarius energy is long distance connections and communications. You may feel restless this week as well. And interesting too, because we are still in Sagittarius season. So yeah, you might feel restless, and you might be very passionate about things to do with freedom and independence and doing your own thing. You might feel other people's energy is a bit draining this week, and you kind of want to just go on an adventure or do something nice, or escape mentally into studying things that are really enriching to your mind, like 9th house Sagittarius themes, which are philosophy, spirituality, higher education, studies. It could be anything. Psychology even. Let's have a look at the astro dice. Gemini, 2nd house. And Saturn. Oof. Okay. Saturn's 2nd house is saying look after your health this week, and look after your mental health as well. Don't overload your mind with Saturn in Gemini. And be careful with your finances this week. Maybe being a bit more frugal with money, not overspending or being tempted to spend too much. And yeah, you're feeling very independent this week is what I'm getting. And Gemini is a very independent sign. So is Aries. It's saying step into your power. Something's going to work out for you this week. That's lucky with the Sagittarius energy and this card as well. So for earth signs, if you're waiting for something to come to fruition this week, or if you are feeling like this week is a bit difficult, know that something positive is going to come out of this week for you, and whether it sort of kicks in next week or at the end of this week, it could be any time, either this week or next week, though, is what I'm getting. There could be a serious communication, or some, communication, email, text message, or something about finances for some with these three. Saturn, 2nd house, money, communications, Gemini. There might be some kind of more communications in general about job, work, job news coming through, something like that as well. All right, moving on to lastly to the fire signs. Okay, so this is for Aries, Leo, Sag. Jumping card, you have Gemini. That's a pretty card. I love those colors. Clear your mind, Aries, Leo, Sag. Last quarter moon in Gemini. So this can be energy of overthinking or overstimulating the mind, reading too many different things, like reading too many news articles, reading too many updates on social media or just scrolling social media endlessly. It's saying declutter that mind. If you're overthinking or overanalyzing as well, or going back and forth in your mind about different things. What does this say? This says flying fish, 11. Another 11's come up. Wow, look at that fish. It's pretty cool. I think that's one of those, can't remember the name of it, but I think it's actually a deadly fish. All right, let's see. I'm going to look up the meaning of that one. Now, 11 is about self-mastery. Another one of the groups had the 11 come up as well. Okay, it says, you've been feeling the pangs of homesickness. It's time to acknowledge that you're unhappy in your present situation. Maybe it was fun and exciting to get out of a rut, but now you're longing for some familiarity, security. The time is right to return to where you're most comfortable. Interesting. It seems contradictory because it's saying you're wanting to get out of your current situation, but you're also saying the time is right to return to where you're most comfortable. What a contradiction in terms. It's a bit trippy, guys. Let me see what else, because there might be something else here. It's an angelfish. That's right, angelfish, which is actually a deadly fish as far as what I know. Oh, right. So it does talk about contradiction here. That's why I thought it didn't make sense. Incongruence, feeling at sort of cross purposes with yourself, or feeling like you kind of feel like going one way but then another way, or you just don't know what to choose. That makes a lot of sense now, because we have Gemini, which is classically a sign known for mental duality, for having two options in their mind, or struggling between two options, not being able to make a decision. Sometimes, you know, that can be a Gemini theme. So facing some kind of difficulty with your expectations and your reality, and some kind of clash with that is what I'm seeing here. Let's look at the astrology cards. Fire signs. Oh, this one wants to come out. Gemini indecision. I was literally just saying that. It's just unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up. Should I stay or should I go? Okay, so you might be thinking about a job, like knowing that you have to make a decision on some level soon about a job, or about a situation, maybe a living situation, or maybe about some other decision. I don't know why I just heard contract. So for some people there might be a contract coming up, or some kind of choice with regards to a job or job options. For some it could be relationship related, where you're like, I like this person, but I just don't know if I feel that this could be something that's going to work, or you're just kind of waiting to see how things pan out. Wow, interesting. So we have Moon, 9th house, and Leo. Very passionate emotions here, so this could definitely relate to relationships. 9th house is your beliefs though, and the bigger picture of life. So there's a lot here that's kind of a big focus on having to make a decision. What I'm getting here for you guys for fire signs is just keep listening to your heart, listen to your intuition. Also, you know, the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius and Jupiter, so trust that you'll be guided with your decisions, okay, because that's what I'm getting very strongly here. Leo with the moon is like trusting that inner instinct, that inner knowingness, and your heart's wisdom, rather than sort of being stuck in this energy, this overly Geminian energy, which is just back and forth, back and forth. So trust your instinct, trust your intuition with making decisions about your life this week, because that's going to help you more. There may be decisions that you have to make this week that may be difficult, and you have to weigh them up, but once you tap into what your intuition's saying, it's actually going to be easier to make that choice. All right, guys, so that was the reading for this week. If you'd like to book a reading, go to the link below. You can book for me. I am very booked up, but you can still book a reading. You can even still book a 2022 year ahead reading if you like. It is a minimum of 2 weeks wait, though. It takes me a full day to write all your transits, your key transits, and film the reading, you know, edit the 2 videos that takes an hour. So for the actual filming, it's a lot. So just know that. And that's why it does take 2 weeks for me to get to them, because I've got a lot to do, a lot of orders. And what was the other thing? Oh, I'm having a sale at my jewelry shop. So if you like gemstone jewelry, like what I make, these jewelry gemstone bracelets, go to the link below. I'm having 15% off at my store at the moment. If you'd like to buy one, you can, or more than one. They make nice Christmas presents. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Bye.